It could stop even the way we use internet. It could ban certain medicines. ACTA, the Anti-Counterfeiting Trade Agreement, has already been signed by many countries like the US and Japan. Europe hasn't made its mind up yet. David Martin is the member of the European Parliament in charge of deciding whether we should sign up or not. Let's see how he answers your questions. David Martin, thank you very much. Let's go straight into our first question here on iTalk.
Hello, my name is Stan Doeps and I'm half Congolese, half Flemish. I'd really like to know what ACTA is or what ACTA means, because I really haven't got any idea.
Took me 2 hours preparing this programme. Can you do it in 1 minute? What is ACTA?
Well, ACTA is the Anti-Counterfeiting Trade Agreement. It was signed by 11 countries, well, 10 countries plus the European Union, so 37 countries. It's meant to improve the protection for copyright holders, for intellectual property right holders across the European Union and indeed across the globe. So it's meant to try and tackle counterfeit handbags or, fake handbags or fake T-shirts, but at the same time it also deals with the internet and the illegal downloading of films and tunes and so on.
So it's really going to change our lives. And has Europe signed it yet or not?
Europe hasn't signed it yet, and it can only sign it if the European Parliament agrees to it being signed.
And you've recommended not?
I've said, for a number of reasons, civil liberties in particular, that we shouldn't sign it.
OK, well, let's go into these a bit more. Let's have another question for David Martin.
My question is the Parliament taking into account the views of Anonymous? Are they being taken seriously? There are so many voices, but are they listened to?
Er zijn zoveel stemmen die opgaan, maar wordt er eigenlijk naar geluisterd.
Anonymous, these people with the masks, we've all seen them in the streets, they're furious about this.
Well, they are being listened to, firstly, because...
By who? By the European Parliament?
I would say by the European Parliament and by some national parliaments. It's very interesting in my own country when ACTA was put before the House of Commons, this was before the Anonymous campaign, it had a one-line report saying that it relays no significant issues. What Anonymous and other like-minded groups have done is draw attention to the fact that ACTA has real consequences in terms of the role of internet service providers, the criminal sanctions of individuals simply for downloading tunes from the internet, and many other issues. So their campaign has been listened to here, and I think, of course, on the basis of one group, we don't make up our mind, but they have helped form the European Parliament's opinion. OK, well, I'm sure you'll get a lot more reaction because of that. Let's have another question on iTalk.
Bonjour, moi je m'appelle Loïc.
Hello, my name is Loïc. I'm 28 and I live in Brussels. I'd like to know how you can protect freedom of expression and at the same time protect the rights of the artists.
Sans protéger les artistes qui ont besoin que leurs œuvres soient protégées.
It's the problem. Circles, squares, you can't fit them in.
This is the heart of the debate. I want to make it clear I'm in favour of artists and other creators getting a fair return for their labour.
I'm sure everybody is.
And everybody is. But how do you balance that? And you certainly don't balance it by criminalising the 19-year-old sitting in his bedroom downloading a free film of the internet. Whether you approve of that or not, it happens. But
the problem is you can't have one without the other. Well, if he downloads it and doesn't pay the writer.
I believe you can, and this is where ACTA falls down, because ACTA tries to deal with this issue. It talks about commercial-scale downloading, and I certainly think that should be outlawed, and we should take action against commercial scale downloading. But how do we define that? And the problem with ACTA is it talks about commercial scale, but nowhere does it define it. And that's where this balance between civil liberties comes in and the rights of artists and creators.
Let's just make a point. 22 European countries have signed for, but that doesn't work unless the whole of the European Union agrees through the European Parliament. Is that right?
This is a complicated treaty because it covers both the powers of the member states and the powers of the European Union. Because there are criminal sanctions, that's still a power of the member states. So we need 27 out of 27 to sign up.
And we haven't got that yet?
And we haven't got it.
OK. Another question about ACTA.
Hi. Ich heiße Biliana.
Hi, my name is Biliana, and I would like to know what happens when videos are on YouTube or Facebook. Are they in danger if ACTA comes into force?
Falls ACTA aufgenommen wird.
Is this going to change the way we use internet, what we can do with it?
Again, this is the heart of the problem, because again, there needs to be some control over what's available on the internet, but who should be responsible for that? In my view, it should be the judicial authorities. What ACTA does is essentially put a duty on the internet service provider to police the internet. And I don't believe we should privatise police enforcement. And that could mean organisations like Google, Facebook and others have to take a much tougher line, without any legal basis for doing so, on what they make available through their pages.
But people who like using things like YouTube and Facebook, I mean, in a year, what timescale is this? In a year, if ACTA comes into to being, we're not going to be able to use this anymore?
Well, this is also difficult to give a hard... I've said already about ACTA that the problem with ACTA is in most international treaties, the devil's usually in the detail. The problem with ACTA, the devil's in the lack of detail. And we don't actually know how internet service providers exactly will respond to the pressures of ACTA, but once ACTA has passed, they will have a duty to make sure they're not putting on their websites anything that is illegal and has been obtained without paying proper returns for.
Not at all easy. Let's have another question on iTalk for David Martin.
Mi chiamo Enrico Barilli, sono italiano.
My name is Enrico Barilli and I'm Italian. My question to Mr. Martin is, if ACTA is so very important, why is there no open discussion on it? What can we do to involve public opinion and a larger audience? Thanks.
Per includere di più l'opinione pubblica e per includere molta più gente nella discussione? Grazie.
Yes, you said in your country, the UK, there's hardly been any public debate, and yet this is a really important thing.
It's a good question to which I don't have a good answer. I'm a bit baffled by this as well. It seems to be partly seems to be a bit of depending on your media outlet. So on internet websites, surprise, surprise, there's a lot of discussion about ACTA. In the mainstream newspapers, very little discussion about ACTA. If you're over 30, you probably still haven't heard of ACTA. If you're under 30, you're probably very well aware of it. It seems to be a generational and depends on your source of news and information. So there is a debate, but to be honest, it's not as widespread as I would have expected either.
It's probably going to get more if they cut off Facebook or YouTube or restrict the usage. Let's have another question here on iTalk.
Bonjour, Monsieur Martin. Sadaï Niat de Belgique.
Hello, Mr. Martin. My question is, we know ACTA, we get the drift, and we know what we can lose with ACTA. But I wish I knew what multinationals and companies who've complained to you have to gain.
Qui ont porté plainte chez vous ont à y gagner. Merci.
So basically, I think what he's saying is if we're stopping people using certain things, a multinational company is going to benefit from that by charging us to use these things that we can use for free at the moment. Who's behind this? Is it something sinister?
Well, this is one of the crucial problems with ACTA is it deals with, if you like, physical goods and virtual goods. Physical goods, there's a clear loss to Gucci. Take that as an example. If a Gucci handbag is sold, it's fake, it's not real, then Gucci's lost a potential sale. Not every Gucci fake would have resulted in a real sale, but there's some loss to Gucci. On the internet, it's much more complicated because if you have a hit record and I download it for free, I'm probably going to share it with my friends and so on, and you become much better known, because, even though I haven't paid for that, and it creates a market. And there's many groups, actually, who have become overnight sensations because of free downloading on the internet. And so it's not clear where the commercial loss is sometimes with some of the internet reproduction. And that's what's one of the other complaints about ACTA is it would say if I downloaded a tune that I should have paid £1 for and I allow another million people to download that tune for £1, the loss is £1 million or €1 million. In reality, I don't believe it would be anything like that. In fact, you could even argue there could have been a gain for the artist by getting better known through the widespread distribution of their works.
Not easy at all to sort out. Anyway, thank you very much, David Martin, for having answered some of your questions. See you soon for a next iTalk here on Euronews from the European Parliament in Brussels.